Whoa, what was that? What was that? What's going on, LBHT crew B? What is going on?
What's going on, man?
Man, got a new intro.
I see you got an assistant producer in the shot is what's going on.
Yeah, okay. Hey, Jacob, come over here and say hi real quick because you got in the shot. Give your thumbs up. That is assistant producer Jacob. Yes, thank you for all your help, son. Appreciate it. That's right. All right, guys. It is 1 year. 1 year to the day. Happy anniversary to the LBHT crew. Thank you so much for everybody that has joined the ride. And there's the guy that made it happen right here. Danny, if you like that intro, that's the guy right there. Appreciate it. Yes. Zico Kage's in the house, says greatest show on the planet. That's what I'm talking about. Wow. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Davon says hashtag LBHT crew. Yes. Ravens Online Ungatekeepers says, oh yeah, let's get it, LBHT fam. Indeed. Nitro says new intro. Very nice. That's right. If you guys like the intro, man, check out our guy Danny. He's in the chat here. I'll put him up here again. Yes. And if you like the intro, stay to the end. You might have more in store. Ooh. Yeah. Rakusan Boyd says, salute to you. Appreciate you coming through. Just Aloe says, hello everyone. Love the new intro. Thank you, Just Aloe.
Thank you.
Denow Aiden says, trade for Calvin Ridley. I agree. Off the Record Podcast, our man Mikey says, the man. Yes. Shout out to Mikey. And if you are new here, make sure you take a second to hit that like button and to subscribe. All right. I'm assuming if you're new to the channel or you probably checked this out before, you know what we're about here. Okay. We talk a lot of Ravens. We talk a lot of Panthers. It's in the thumbnail. It's in the title. All right. Mm-hmm. So subscribe, man. We have a lot of fun here. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. Also, if you like our content, take a second to go over to Ring Kings podcast. Go over there and subscribe. We hit our initial goal of 50 subscribers. Now we're trying to get to 100. All right. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button real quick. We talk all things boxing. We had the first episode in our 25 all-time series. All right. That's a lot of fun. So check that out. Yolanda B says, congrats on your first year. Thank you, Yolanda.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Yolanda.
that. Says, keep up the great work. Our guy, Eric L, says, happy anniversary, my brothers. Thank you, Eric L. And shout out to Eric L, man. He supported us a lot behind the scenes, man. We really appreciate all the support that you've given us, man. Straight up.
Absolutely.
Seriously. Danny says, happy 1 year anniversary, LBHT. It was great couple of weeks working with you guys. Have a blast, and I'm excited for the ending too. That's right. Ooh,
thank you, Danny.
That's what I'm talking about. All right. And shout out to Raven Ron. Raven Ron's in the house. Says, what up, LBHT? Sleeping well this week since Cincy Alley Cats lost the Super Bowl. hate, man. And Lawrence Trent says, what's up, guys? What's up with you? All right. You see the title. Okay. Super Bowl is over. All right. Mm-hmm. It is the off season. Okay. You guys are sleeping a little bit better because Cincy lost just a little bit better. They still made it to the Super Bowl. So we got a lot to talk about. What do the Ravens need to do to get back on track? Okay. What do the Panthers need to do to get back on track? We've been quiet on the Panthers last few weeks. They haven't been making a lot of moves, but now it's time to start talking about both teams and what they need to do to right their wrongs this past season.
And definitely what Carolina does not need to do. I saw something it turned my stomach earlier.
Yeah. And you see that ticker right there, lbhtshow.com/shop. If you want to get yourself some merch, some LBHT crew merch, you go to that store right there. What B's wearing too, that's on the store as well. All right. All right. So we're going to start the show. But before we start the show, we do every show. We start out with a Black History fact. And B has a Black History fact for you.
Yeah. So, just another real quick one tonight. I figured, it's our 1 year anniversary. Why not go with a kind of an anniversary fact? We have a jazz singer by the name of Bessie Smith, who was born in 1894, passed away pretty young at the age of, I believe it was 43. But on this day in 1923, she recorded a song called Downhearted Blues. It was a re-record. It was originally recorded in 1922 by Alberta Hunter, but Bessie Smith kind of came in and said, I'll take that. Recorded the song, and it became her first single, and it went on to sell almost 800,000 copies in the first 6 months after its release. It was added to the Library of Congress. You know, they keep records of culturally significant recordings, movies, any kind of stuff like that. So it's in the Library of Congress. It was voted as one of the 365 most influential or best songs ever by the Recording Industry Association of America. And again, yeah, it was a major hit from Bessie Smith. It was the first single who was considered like the queen of jazz at the time. So, and that was on this day in 1923 that it was recorded.
All right, so shout out to Bessie Smith, man. All right, we got Add to Pop says, yo, what's up Add to Pop? Appreciate you coming through. Nitro says Lamar will win CPOY, was that Comeback Player of the Year?
Comeback, yeah.
MVP and SMVP this season.
Super Bowl MVP too.
Right,
that's gonna be tough if they ain't in the Super Bowl.
All right, yeah. Sharon Grill says, Jose and Brodny, you guys are the best. Happy anniversary. Love you guys. Want to hear from you more. Man, listen, this has been a common theme. People have been telling us more. We want more. Look, we're trying our hardest to give it to you guys, okay? We're going to give you
and we blame this man right here.
Shout out to Hendo. Appreciate you. Yes, he's the one that started that trend. As soon as he said that word more, then it just got repeated around. But our man Tony Hendo says, happy 1 year anniversary. Appreciate you, Tony. Man, shout out to you, Tony. Yes, indeed. Okay, well, Nitro brought up Lamar. Do we want to start with Lamar?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Okay.
Jump into it.
All right, look. Guys, Lamar Jackson is back. All right. He posted a video of himself today working out with Rashod Bateman and some other people. All right. Mm-hmm. He's back out there. Look, man, he looked like Lamar Jackson. He looked great throwing the ball. He looked like there was no ailment from his ankle. Right. He was moving around pretty well. And look, man, he made do on his promise. He said, look, I'm gonna put in the work this offseason like he does every offseason. Nice. He said in a earlier tweet, or a previous tweet, I should say, that 2022, he's coming for everything. All right. Yeah. Now, here's the thing. Lamar is the type of person, he says what he means what he says. All right. I have no doubts, no worries about Lamar Jackson whatsoever. Lamar always puts in the work. Lamar always shows up prepared. The only question is this Ravens organization going to show up prepared? Are they going to put in the work this offseason?
Well, I don't think that's the only question. I have another question. Why don't the Ravens fans want the Ravens organization to show up prepared? Because all I see on Twitter these days is, man, we got to draft an edge rusher at 14. Yeah, I saw somebody say draft an edge rusher at 14 and an interior D lineman in the second round. Yeah. Like y'all, not y'all specifically, but some of y'all want Lamar to die back there.
Hey, hold on a second. We got another donation from Suge. I should have mentioned too. If you guys want to support like Suge and Hendo, there are two ways you can do that. One's right below $LBHT Show. That's our Cash App. Also, that pinned link in the comments that will take you to our Streamlabs. You can leave a tip there. Either way, you just leave a donation, leave a comment, and you'll get a message right there on the screen. We'll read it. All right. And I'll bring it right back on the screen so you guys can see it. Okay. Suge says, I remember coming into the stream and seeing Ravens fan talk about how my Steelers beat the Ravens. Oh, Lord. Yes, Suge is a Steelers fan. And I remember thinking this will be the first and last time watching the stream. Almost a year, and I'm still here. Proud to be part of the LBHT crew. Yes, and shout out to Suge, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, shout out to Suge, Hendo, Davon, everybody who's a part of the crew, everybody who subscribes. You know, it's a very special group and community that we're building here, and you know, it wouldn't be the same without you guys. So thank you.
At all. Yes, thank you. You guys make it. Look, I've been saying it a lot recently, and I mean it, man. Right now we're a crew. Soon we'll be an army. All right, so Just keep rolling with us, man. We're growing. Yes, I know King Bird. He says I forgot. We forgot Prochet. Forgot to mention Prochet. Right?
No, we didn't.
Look. I have Horace Torres saying the same thing. Where the Prochet hate now? Where the Prochet hate now again? Tell me how Prochet is not good again.
He's not good.
He's not good. Like
I mean, why do y'all keep throwing down that challenge? Like we won't just say it to you again and make you angry again. He has 200 yards for his career.
Look, man. Look, we're not gonna go down that road.
Shout out to that. Oh, okay. All right. I'm gonna say shout out to our guy Big Reg. He hit us in the DMs on Twitter. He sent us a Prochet highlight clip.
He did.
I'm like, man, we saw these clips when he was
coming
out.
Watched him in college. We saw we didn't watch him
at the time. I said at the time, I thought, he was going to be better than Duvernay. I liked his potential more than Duvernay.
Oh, see, man,
it hasn't worked out like that.
Hold on, man. Look, Ferris and Suge are trying to derail this show, man, with their donations, man. Shout out to y'all. Fun fact, our very first LBHT show featured Suge and Ferris, right? And they are here tonight, and they dropping some dough. Suge says, also, I thought this podcast was only supposed to be 30-minute episodes. What happened? Also, B is a star and a bully.
Wow.
So, it was supposed to be a 30-minute podcast, audio podcast. That was the thought process when we that's why the name Lunch Break Hot Take was made, because I thought of it on my lunch break, and I was like, yeah, man, like a 30-minute podcast that people can listen to on their lunch break. And we have never done a 30-minute podcast. And we've never done a show at lunchtime. We did like one stream at lunchtime because I happened to get home early enough, and that was when the Ravens were about to sign Des Bryant. I think we did a live stream then. And shout out to our man Ferris. Man, Ferris must have hit some. He must have hit on some prop bets, because he is coming through. And appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. He said that intro's got signature style that I know. That was popping. Hashtag LBHT crew and Lamar should Kirk Cousins the Ravens. Yes. If they don't want to improve the team, don't sign a long-term deal and get franchise tag, then leave if they don't improve. Yeah, or if they don't want to pay. And shout out to Anonymous, man. Man, I appreciate you guys. Yes. I appreciate you. He says, happy anniversary, LBHT. Thank you so much, you guys. So much. Thank you, man. We really appreciate this love that you guys are showing us, man.
Listen, we did have stuff planned to talk about, but if y'all just want us to read donation messages for the next hour, that'd be cool, too.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Okay, Lamar is back at working out. Okay, no, look. Yes.
But hold on. Before you jump back in, James Prochet sucks. Like, until he shows otherwise. Look, I'm not saying he can't. I'm saying he hasn't. So stop.
So look, we go off of what we see, right? And everybody has opinions. But he's going to his third year. He hasn't produced a whole lot. That's just the reality. No matter what you think, you can think he could do more than what he's done. But the fact is, he hasn't. And honestly, if you feel like Prochet can be better, why don't you feel that way about Miles Boykin?
Yeah,
Miles Boykin's produced more.
Well, I'll tell you, because Miles Boykin wasn't there.
Right.
Miles Boykin isn't working out with Lamar, and I don't believe he's worked out with Lamar at all in any offseason.
Yeah.
I don't think Lamar likes him very much.
I don't know what it is, but either way, Lamar's out there. He's practicing. He's looking good, and I love seeing that he gets the wide receivers together and works out with them. Early on in the offseason, Lamar's going to show up ready to go, man. It's up to the Ravens to step up and make sure he has protection, make sure he has weapons, right? Like, put in the work this offseason like Lamar's putting in. And we got another donation from OTR Mike. Says, best nation is a donation. Congrats, fellas. Hey, shout out to you, Mikey, man. All right. Yeah. So what are they going to do to help Lamar, who is putting in this work and trying to make his improvements? Because we always talk about, what Lamar needs to do to get better. That's what we always hear, right? We always hear, oh man, like he needs to work on this type of throw. He needs to, he needs to throw wide receivers open. He needs to do this. He needs to do that. What does the organization need to do?
Oh man, though.
Go ahead and say.
Hold on. I'm putting it in here. I don't even want to include this message, but I'm going to. I'm going to because I'm a good guy.
Okay. I'll read some comments then while you put that message in there. I'll read some comments if I can pull it up here.
There we go.
Okay, there it is. And Hendo says Sauce Gardner to the Panthers. Look, we are going to get into the Panthers talk later. We don't want to do what the Panthers are doing over there, right? They badly needed either a quarterback or a tackle, and they decided to go corner. All right, we don't want to be that. We do not want to be that over here. All right, let's read a couple of comments here. Let's see. Raven Ron says Prochet is trash. I'm not saying I'm not saying he's trash. I don't look. I'm not saying he's trash. I'm just saying he hasn't done anything, right? Like at all. Jerome Big B says the new coin is fire. Oh,
nice.
Hold on.
Thank you. Glad you like it, man.
This coin right here? Ooh, look at that thing. Look at that. Look at that coin. Yes, we'll talk more about that later. Okay. But I'll give you a little spoiler. Patreon.com/LBHT Show if you're wondering how to get one of those. All right. Yes. Rock You Son Boy says O-line. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. If they don't do anything else this offseason, improve the O-line. If they don't do anything else, improve the O-line. I don't want to hear anything about edge rushers. I don't want to hear anything about D tackles or safeties and none of that. Protect the man. That's all. Protect them. Nitro says get Akeem Hicks as a free agent, and first 2 picks should be tackles. Yes.
Well, I mean, look, I would obviously not be opposed to Akeem Hicks playing in Baltimore. But then, you got to go through the whole exercise of opening up cap room because Baltimore is sitting right now at about 8.7 million in cap room, which, it's one of those things, right? Because Baltimore, I know we're going to talk about this later, but Baltimore, they never have a good enough roster and they never have any money.
Right.
How?
Yeah.
So, that's something Carolina's gone through as well. So,
So I kind of want to talk about, look, we haven't discussed too much Lamar these last few weeks with everything that's been talked about in terms of him, his contract and things like that. Now, if you're concerned about his contract situation, if you're concerned that, hey, there's a possibility we don't get him signed, good. Good. That fear should be in your head that, hey, man, we might lose like the by far the most talented quarterback we've ever had in this franchise, one of the best players in the league, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. That fear should be in your head and you should be putting pressure on this organization to get the deal done. Right, yeah. Lamar. No. I was gonna say like people think Lamar's dumb, right? They don't come out and say it, right? They're trying to talk around it. They think he is not an intelligent person, right? They're like, oh, him and his mom, they don't have an agent, and they're gonna mess this up. They know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. Oh, he turned down all this money, because absolutely he's going to get the money. That's not a question. How much more money is he going to get? Right? Yeah. I just saw he liked to tweet about Derek Carr expected to get $40 million per year.
That's just because he's happy for Derek. That's nothing to do with his situation.
But the fact is, if Derek Carr is expected to get $40 million, what are we talking about?
And listen, man, shout out to Derek Carr. Like we've been somewhat rough on Derek. I mean, I like Derek. I think he's a good player, but man, congratulations on that extension he's about to land.
Yeah. And shout out to DT Vids making an appearance. Brother, man, you and AWOL. What happened, my man? He said Prochet. Got the eyes emojis. Look, if you don't see, there's a reason why the emojis don't work on this thing. The software that we're using, it says the emoji, but it doesn't actually put the emoji on there. But he's saying Prochet. Okay, all right. We had a conversation about Prochet months ago, but you ain't come back though. Yeah. But welcome back now, my man. Welcome back. Up, thanks for coming through. Well, hold on. Let me give a couple more shots here. Shout out to Garnett. He says happy anniversary and Black History Month, brothers. Shout out to Garnett, man. He's been supporting us from the jump too, man. Like a lot of you guys have, man. A lot of you guys. We really appreciate you guys coming through and just chopping it up with us, man. You make the show easy. You make the show real easy to do. So yes, contract. Derek Carr, $40 million. Happy for him, right? But he ain't Lamar.
No, he's not. And if he's getting 40 million, which again, man, congrats to Derek. If he's getting 40, Lamar needs to start the conversation at 43, 44. Somewhere in there. Because I know you're shaking your head. He's much better than Derek Carr and everything, but the teams don't tend to go too much over the top players, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, he should get more than that, but if he's at 40, the conversation begins around 44 for Lamar. And if you're not talking that, then what you're talking about is him playing on the franchise tag, and like Ferris said, just robbing you for extra money every year and then leaving.
Look, I was saying from last offseason, if I'm Lamar, I want $50 million per year.
Well, that's the rumor about Kyler Murray, right? He wants 50 to 55, and people kind of laughed at it, but he's going to get it. He's not up for contract yet. And, there's going to be several deals between now and when Kyler gets his money, and he's going to get over 50.
And it's expected, the salary cap is expected to blow up over the next couple of years. Fred Taylor, he's on the pivot now, but when he was on I Am Athlete, he had mentioned that, and he's connected on these, former players. And he said, you got it on good authority, on good word, that in the next few years, that salary cap is going to explode. So I think Kyler knows this. I think Lamar knows this, right? Mm-hmm. 40 million, that's nice. 45 is better. 50 is even better. Well,
yeah, that's why you've had several players recently, Russell Wilson, and there was talks with Pat Mahomes as well, talking about getting deals that are not, X number of dollars per year, but rather a percentage of the salary cap, because they do know it is going to explode. And when it does, even Pat Mahomes' contract is going to look relatively small, compared to what's available at that point. But, if you're Baltimore, man, Lamar Jackson's the most important player in that franchise's history, period.
Yeah.
And it's because of the position he plays. He is one of the best players they've ever had, but it's because of the position he plays. And right now, his cap number for the coming season is 23.1. You need cap room, and you need Lamar there. So I don't understand what the front office is playing around, or why they're playing around and not getting this done. An extension for Lamar brings that cap number down significantly. It gives you more money to play with this season, and it locks up it's the most important player your team has ever had for the long term.
Yes.
And if they're coming in lowballing Lamar, and trying to go cheap like we know they do with other players, it just shows you more and more that they're out of touch with the reality of the NFL in 2022.
Yeah, look, Eric DaCosta, kind of hinted that it's on Lamar, like he's trying to reach out to him, but Lamar is kind of working at his own pace, and he's just like, we'll work at his pace is the words he said. Yeah. And I hate when teams do that, when they try to put the onus on the player. There's a number that you can hit where Lamar will sign right now. There is.
Yeah.
There absolutely is.
And I'm sure he's told you that number.
That's my thing, right? And it's not some ridiculous number. It's what he deserves, right? I'm saying 50. I'm sure he said less than 50. I'm sure he said something less than 50. Maybe he said 46, 47, right? If that's the case, no problem. But if he said 50, if he said 50, give him 50.
Yeah.
Give him 50. You're not going to let him walk. Give it to him, because you know what's going to happen? He'll come back. He'll play this last year. He'll play great. And then he's going to be like, now I want 55. And you're going to have to give it to him. Dak got hurt. Dak held out. Got franchised. Broke his leg. And he's like, now pay me more. And they gave it to him.
Right.
And they gave it to him. Lamar will get his money. He's not dumb. He knows exactly how to play this game.
And if Baltimore wants to be dumb, he'll get it from someone else.
Yeah.
We are talking about Lamar being back at work, because again, the big story for today is that he's back out there. Obviously he's healthy now. And he's back out there working at it, trying to get better, trying to get ready for next season. Somebody wasn't there from what I've seen, and not Miles Boykin, but it was Marquise Hollywood Brown. I don't believe was there, and that might be because Marquise Hollywood Brown is getting ready for his gaming career. if you believe Ravens flock superstar CJ Golson, who said, Marquise took all of the Ravens pictures and everything, the logos and all that off of his social media, and there was one report that he was thinking about retiring and going into streaming, like Twitch streaming. Because he can make more money there, or make a lot of money there, and not have the wear and tear on his body. That person said they heard that from Marquise's social media team, and then CJ Golson came in and confirmed that report and said, he heard it from people within the football world. So, I mean, that's not happening, but it was a funny story.
Yeah.
I think that he is signaling that he's upset with the team, and we talked about it before, and I said I'd be upset if I were Hollywood as well. I've said on this show that if I'm Baltimore and I can get a second or third round pick for Hollywood, I would trade him because I don't want to pay him like a top wide receiver, and he's going to want to be paid like a top wide receiver. And I think that's what the problem is. EDC came out in his press conference and called him a bargain.
He did,
and no player wants to hear that.
He did, man. That was the number one thing I took away from that press conference is it's same old Ravens, same old Eric DeCosta, right? In fact, I tweeted out, I switched around what he says, his mantra, right player, right price, is right price equals right player, right? Mm-hmm. They're not looking for talent first, and then can we fit them, within our salary cap? It's how much you gonna cost, right? They look at the price tag first, like, yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that. That's how I am with my shoes. I'm not a shoes person, man. But I start with, what's the price tag looking like? $50. All right, show me some. Give me those and some 12s. All right. But yeah, Hollywood. Look, first of all, it could be nothing. Like, man, these players nowadays, man, these young players, they're weirdos, man. Look, we're talking about Hollywood. We're also talking about Kyler Murray. Because Kyler Murray did the same thing, and people are speculating it's because he wants more money or whatever. There could be absolutely nothing wrong with both of them, right? These young guys are dorks, okay? And it's fine. It's fine. I'd rather these players be dorks than be out getting in trouble. But they're dorks, man. Like, they do this passive aggressive thing where it's like, well, I don't like what they said, so I'm gonna just unfollow them or whatever, right? And it's just like, if you got a problem with them, just say it. You ain't gotta go through all that. But it's harmless. It's harmless. So what? He has an issue with them. They're gonna get it worked out because Eric DeCosta did say this, and he's right about this. That's his first pick, and he wants it to work out. In reality, he needs it to work out because, like I've been saying, man, like, all these draft picks that you've had, what do you really have to show for it? Yeah. You need Hollywood to work out. He's showing the most promise right now out of all the draft picks. I know a lot of people are saying Rashod Bateman. Rashod Bateman gave you 500 yards, right? Mm-hmm. I could see, like, you could see the talent when he's out there for sure. In terms of production, he's giving you 500 yards. Hollywood is the guy that EDC is looking at, like, I need him to really take it to the next level. So he's rooting for Hollywood. I'm sure he's going to tell him, look, I'm rooting for you, and we're definitely going to get you a new deal. Not yet.
Just not right now. And then Hollywood went and took all of the Raven stuff off of his social media.
But Hollywood, I think Hollywood does have an agent. His agent should be telling him, you don't want a deal right now, right? Yeah. Because you're not going to get top money. He knows that, right? He knows that his play fell off towards the end of the season. He barely hit 1,000 yards. He's not going to capitalize on what he can make. Even if he hit free agency, he's not going to be able to capitalize on what he can make. He can make a whole lot more money by staying healthy, having Lamar stay healthy this year, and playing much better because he was on pace for 1,300 yards this year, right? He can get that next year. And if he gets that, that's a lot more money. So he shouldn't even be thinking about signing an extension. No player should sign an extension.
Yeah,
First
yeah.
and foremost.
Actually, I think he was on pace for even a little more than that. I think he was on pace for over 1,400. Like the first half of the season, he was over 80 yards per game, and then it fell off a cliff, down into the low 40s. For the rest of the season. Now, yeah, I mean, like you say, EDC wants him to work out, and I mean, he's worked out to an extent. Right, he's a good player. The problem there is that he's not a great player, and there were multiple wide receivers taken after him who have been better. But I mean, it is what it is. Like if he comes back and has a great season, like you're saying, he'll get paid and it'll be all good. I don't like when people say, oh, it doesn't mean anything that he took all that stuff off of his social media. Like you don't do that for no reason. And especially at this point when the exact reaction that everyone is going to have when you do that. He's doing that to send a message.
Yeah.
Now, what that message is, I mean, we can just speculate, but it's a message to the Ravens. I'm sure they know what it is, and it's just going to be whether or not they react appropriately to it.
Yeah. Let me read a few of these comments here, man. Shout out to Don Dimelo is in the house. He says, Dimelo, que lo que? Hey, what's up with you, my man? What's up with you? Thanks for coming through, man. And let's see. John Hazeb Ali, he says, defund EDC. Look, man, I can't defend EDC, and I won't defend EDC. I still feel like in the end, he'll work out, but he's not off to a great start. He also says, let him go and sign Adams, talking about Hollywood. Look, man, Adams has to want to come here, and we have to want to pay him.
Yeah,
that's the
and
thing.
neither one of those things is true.
Let's see. Boogie Down EJ says, I don't like EDC at all. He definitely seems like he's trying to lowball Lamar just to appease his friend Harbs. And he says, by the way, that guy Ryan Mink is taking subliminals at Lamar. Go to his Twitter. Yeah, we know. We look. We don't need to mention Ryan Mink, man. He's been catching it on Twitter. Like nobody's falling for that. Nobody. He's catching those from every direction, and he's just like, man, I'm just trying to do my job.
Right.
Shout out to King. I think it's King of Poogle. He says we could fix everything. Won't matter if Giro is here. Well,
it'll matter. It'll matter.
Yeah.
It won't be optimal, but it'll matter.
Yeah, it's not ideal, but if you have overwhelming talent, that can that can help cover up the deficiencies in coaching, right? Yeah. I mean, look, Mike McCarthy got a ring. All right.
And Roman's been to the Super Bowl.
Roman's been to the Super Bowl. Spooky J says, happy birthday, LBHT crew. Hey, appreciate you, Spooky J.
Thank you.
Let's see. Off the Record Podcast, like Mikey says, these new age players are definitely super sensitive, man. They are. Yeah. Yeah. Tony Hendo says this message is no more Roman. He's been vocal about Greg Roman, in the play calling and the scheme and all that stuff.
I tend to think it's both. I think it's a don't call me a bargain, give me some money, and get Greg Roman out of here so I can go out and show you that I'm worth that money.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Just Aloe says, I hear Hollywood is mad Greg Roman came back. Could be. Lamar might be mad.
I'm sure they are. I'm sure they're all mad.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just going around here. What's up, Andre Mears? He says, I think Hollywood trying to get paid. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's obvious. But if he's trying to get paid, he should want to wait. I wouldn't take an extension right now. Let's see. What's up, D Weezy? He says Tepper like paying QBs. Lamar can get that $50 million from him. They ain't get. Well, I don't know how they gonna get it. I mean, look, you can always move around cap, but sheesh, they need to get somebody. All right. What else we got here? Yes. Ross says 50 mil on deck. Indeed. D Weezy says, remember how much Gus is getting? How much we paying Gus?
Well, his extension was 3 a year, but I think his cap this year is a little bit higher than that.
All right. We got a donation. And Garnett says, take my money and give me the coin. We got you, Garnett. We got you. We got another anonymous
Garnett,
tip.
I sent you a DM, a message on Discord that you didn't respond to, Garnett.
Yeah. Check the Discord. And shout out to Anonymous. Anonymous says, let me bring this back up. Anonymous says, if Mr. Jackson goes into free agency, where should he go? I don't even want to think about that. But he should go to a team that's going to protect him and give him weapons and pay him, right? It's simple. And there are a lot of teams that will do that.
You know what kind of team I would like for Lamar? It would be like Miami, where you have a young, offensive-minded, forward-thinking head coach. There are several of those around the league. That's just the first one that popped into my head. I think that would be a good spot. But like you said, there's a lot of teams that would take care of Lamar.
Yeah. The Rams would take him. The Rams would look at him and be like, all right, Stafford, your time's up. You got your ring.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay. I know you don't want to hear that because, Panthers and all. But yes. Man, we didn't even get to the Ravens and Panthers stuff, man. We're already halfway through this. We might have to go a little over. Do we want to do lunch money bets now, since D Weezy's in the room, and then we can get to the Ravens and Panthers offseason moves?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Hold on. Let me read a couple more comments before we bring them up. Hold on 1 second, D Weezy. Mama Weezy's in the house. She says Panthers need a new coach. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Deshaun, shout out to Deshaun, says, I'm honestly not losing sleep if we lose Soldier Boy. I don't think anybody is.
No, but ideally, you would want to keep him, right?
Yes.
Ideally, but we'll see.
Yeah. Ravens Online says, especially with the enemy available, Roman should be long gone. And I will say this. I mean, it looks like he's going to stay. But Harbaugh didn't 100% commit to him. Okay? He left that little wiggle room just in case. Right? He just said, hey, nothing. He said nothing is certain, which is kind of weird because usually there's like, yeah, he's our guy. He's coming back. He's just like, oh, well, you never know. Nothing's certain, So I don't know. We'll see. Plug Cap says Lamar going to Tampa next season. LOL. Brady put a word in. That's what he meant when he said you're next. That's what he meant.
Listen, let me just say this. I appreciate all y'all. Like we said, this wouldn't be the same without everybody in here supporting all the time. But screw y'all. All right, stop with this Lamar to Tampa stuff. We don't want it. We do not want it.
Deshaun said, do we though? 1K, he had 1,000 yards, but bruh, replace him with a legit number one, and that turns into 1,300. Yeah, but yes, I agree.
It's hard to do.
It is. Look, if we can convince Devontae Adams to come here and we pay him, sure. Bring in AB, sure. But of course, we bring in AB. There's really no need to get rid of Hollywood. AB's not going to cost a whole lot, right? And their family. So, the two of them plus Lamar, they work out together all the time. I think that'd be a great chemistry on the field. But yeah, if we can upgrade, if you can upgrade. That's always been our thing. That's exactly what the Rams did, and it got them a Super Bowl. All right. Don't go anywhere. We have a lot more Ravens to discuss and Panthers. Okay, we're going to break down what both teams need to do this offseason. We've been talking a little bit about it right now, but now it is time for you gambling degenerates to get your pen and papers ready, okay? Because D Weezy has the hot takes for you. You trying to make some money. I know Valentine's Day hit your pockets. I know it did. You got to recover. It's time to recover, right? If you wanna hit a lick like our guy Ferris did, that's why he been spending the big money in here. All right, you gotta take down these bets because our guy D Weezy is here for lunch money bets. D Weezy, what is going on?
What's going on, everybody?
Hey man, thanks for coming through, man. How are we doing? That's I want to know. How are we doing?
Man, the props every prop didn't go the way I wanted, but of course you get a little wild and try some of the more fun and interesting ones. Yeah. But when you actually set back and started to look at some of the ones on that list that I dropped in the Discord that were more factual based, things like that, I didn't fare too bad. I believe I only ended up about 3 losses under 500.
Okay.
One of those close losses was Tyler Boyd receptions. He hit it right on the nose. It was over, or I took the under on the 5.5. He got right at 6 targets. It was that last one late in the game. They just, sort of stabbed me in the gut a little bit.
Yeah.
But one of the ones I was on, OBJ getting a touchdown and still ending up under 7.5 receptions. That's one that worked out.
Unfortunately for Odell.
Exactly. You hate to see it go that way, but you're not exactly, shedding too many tears. Like, oh, he's listed as out. Yes. Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Well, hang on 1 second, Derek. I'm sorry to interrupt, but we did get another donation here. We want to read that real quick.
Okay. Yeah. Shout out to Garnett. That's what I'm talking about. He said, in the words of my new favorite GM, F those picks. Yes.
Thank you, Garnett.
Yes.
Thank you.
I love how he leaned into that whole thing too.
Yeah.
I love how he leaned into it. He's just like, yep, I want that on the mug. I want that on the T-shirt. Yeah. Yes. We don't give a damn about
I'm sorry, Derek. Go ahead.
All right. So, yeah, just getting back into some of the props. I had the over 5.5 sacks. I expected a big sack total in that game, regardless if it was just one-sided or not.
Got seven. The Rams.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Jeez.
Over 1.5 interceptions in the game. That seemed like easy money, and that clearly hit. So, yeah, there was a lot of different ways different angles. Like I said, the book offers a lot of exposure. There's areas where you could take advantage of things that seemed like almost a given bet. And then, Bengals did cover that cover on the spread, that +4, 3-point loss. And I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but I did see somewhere where that rarely happens in the Super Bowl, where the underdog loses outright and still covers on the spread.
Right.
So that was just something interesting to see. But yeah, going into this week, sadly, I know a lot of y'all out there, crying about, football being over and don't know what to do with their Sundays. And I'm here to tell you that D Weezy been waiting on football season to end, y'all. Waiting. So yeah, to jump into that association, the NBA, tonight I was looking at we got Sacramento and Chicago playing that over. I'm taking the over on the game total at 232.5. That does seem high, but again, you're talking about basically teams with a lot of offense. Even after the trade Sacramento pulled off, they brought in Sabonis. Yes, they gave up things, but there's still a lot of talent there. You still got DeAndre Fox. Now you have Sabonis. Chicago's been playing well. Both teams have been getting to the overs in their game totals. So that's where I'm playing that one. Later on, you have LA and Utah. I like the under 226 there. LA has its struggles with offense and just, regardless if you think they're going to win or lose, it's a question of how many points do you think they're going to put up?
Right.
And I think Utah's going to come in and play a more defensive sound game. Not necessarily shut them down or shut them out or anything like that, but you'll see more, a sharper game on the defensive end. So there won't be just a lot of simple, easy baskets, and those tend to lead to more under-type games in situations like that. Going into Phoenix and Houston, I do like the game total under 234. Something I was looking at, and I also have Houston +16.5. Phoenix, not that there's a trend, but they seem to underperform in large double-digit spreads. I believe this season roughly around the 500 mark. Then you look at Houston, and in double-digit spread games, they've actually finished a little bit better higher on that mark. So it wouldn't be that much of a shock to think that Phoenix comes in, they get a considerable lead, get up by 15, 20 points, and start to coast. And when it's all said and done, this game ends around a 10-point win, a 9-point win. Right. And sort of playing back into that under mentality on the game total, 234 is a high total. Could both teams get there? Possibly, but that means, Phoenix letting up on the defensive side a little bit.
Okay, and
then a couple. Go ahead.
We got a question here from Degenerate Ron makes his appearance. Yeah. He says 1 game ML. What's ML? 1 game ML. Money line. Oh, okay. You can tell I'm not a degenerate. Like
we're working on it. We got to upgrade you from the GI
Joes. He says Memphis with the 12.5. and rolling with Memphis until they disappoint. They on a 20-game spread streak. Also, he says betting on overs for Bulls, Warriors, and Timberwolves games. And he says, D Weezy, you need to fill in on hockey bets.
Well, now I'll be the first to tell you, I'm not the greatest of hockey guys, but I have found me a little bit of a niche working the three-way game regulations in the hockey bets. That's a little more complicated. I may have to save something like that for another episode when I have a little bit more time. I was just Grizzly versus Portland. Yeah, Portland's done real horrible against the spread this year with their woes. The fact that Memphis is on the streak that they are on, yeah, there's no fear in taking that. I'm on the over in the Sacramento-Chicago game. I was actually about to reference the Golden State game because I do like Curry going over his 4.5 3-point prop, which I actually found at plus 120. If you've been in the Discord, that's something you've heard me reference before, specifically his 3-point prop and certain ways to approach that. And you know he's going to take the amount of shots. That's not the question. Yeah. Putting that 4.5, I mean, Steph Curry can almost fall out of bed and hit 5 threes. I do believe that the books are struggling to try and handicap the team with the return of Clay. And to some degree, Curry trying to be a little bit more of a distributor and maybe try to work him into the offense a little bit more. But I think on the flip side of that, the other scorers on the team aren't as well versed. And so he's not necessarily hitting those assist marks consistently. And I like the under 7.5 assists on the night, which was minus 123, a little bit juiced, but I'm comfortable playing that. And, you know, the fact that we're kind of kicking off the NBA season here with lunch money, you know, and football being done. Earlier, y'all in the Discord, you know, at the beginning of February, I mentioned Bucks championship to win the championship plus 700. That's actually moved in my favor a little bit. They're currently around 525, basically getting more likely that they would win. The line moved against me a little bit with Utah, who I took at the first week of January. Got them at 1,100. They're currently a little longer than that at the moment, at around 1,300. But they are still in the top of the West. And the way things are shaping up, there may not be too many contenders coming out of the West that can keep up with Utah.
All right. There you go. Those are the bets. Yo, Raven Ron is determined to bet on the Grizzlies. He says betting 250 on Grizzlies minus 2.5 spread. Let's get it. Degenerate Ron does not care if people hope I lose or not. Hey man, go for it, man. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you, Degenerate Ron. All right, listen. We're gonna be covering a lot of NBA this offseason. D Weezy gonna be here to navigate through those waters. If you want to make some money, you better listen to this man when it comes to NBA. Okay, he's been on fire since the start of the season. And if you have more questions, in fact, we're gonna start doing that more. I think you know, for the people that aren't so betting savvy, we'll start answering you just start, breaking down just basic stuff for them. So, it doesn't sound so foreign to some of the people in here that may not quite understand like the terminology and stuff like that. Maybe we'll kind of break that down a little bit, and maybe we'll start making some small dollars, small dollar bets. We can all have fun. We can all have fun with it.
And that's where it starts out. When I first got up here, I told people it's about making, smart decisions, smart plays. It's about educating yourself a little bit. You don't have to be some grand mastermind, great number mathematician. You got some computer program running algorithms for you. No, you don't need all that to make it fun and enjoyable and still improve your odds along the way.
Yep. All right. If you want to see more of D Weezy, he has a Discord, right? He has a Discord channel on our Discord. If you want to be a part of that, we're going to tell you how to join that in a second. Also, he writes articles. It's been quiet with the Panthers lately, but when there's stuff to write, he's going to write about it, and you can catch that.
I got some things planned for the offseason.
We got a lot of things.
We got the draft coming up. We got free agency. I know a lot of people expected some coaching moves. Honestly, I was not surprised. That's something I'll go a little more in depth into for those that are checking out the website and getting into the articles and things that get put up.
Yep, there you go. There you go. LBHTshow.com is where you can find them. Also on our overtime show, which you can find right after this show on our Patreon. We'll tell you more about that in a second. But for now, D Weezy, thank you for hanging out with us. We'll see you soon.
All right, everybody, take care.
All right. Yes, indeed. All right. So, like we're saying, right there, patreon.com/LBHT Show. All right. We have 2 tiers up. I know you guys were checking out the coin. I know you were looking at it. Oh, look at that thing. Let me get a little closer. Let me see. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Yeah. And yes, your eyes do not deceive you. One side is gold. One side is silver. All right. That's in the $10 tier. B, tell them real quick about the 2 tiers and how they can get this coin right here.
Yeah, so the $3 tier, that's going to get you entrance into the overtime show that we just mentioned, which is the show that we do after the live show every week. We have everybody in there, and we're just talking whatever comes up. It's a lot of fun every single week. That's also going to get you into our NFL Pick'em League. We give away a custom LBHT trophy at the end of that every year. This year, OTR Mike won. So again, congrats to him. The $10 tier is going to get you one of those LBHT crew coins. It'll get you into our Dynasty League that's starting up this year. We had a fantasy football league last year. It was just a redraft league. We're converting it to a Dynasty League. And, for that, we give away a custom championship belt. Our guy Deshaun somehow walked away with it this year. Look at the belt right there.
Look at that belt, man.
It was a lot of fun. We're actually in the planning phases of the draft and everything right now, so you can get in on that. You also, with the $10 tier, be able to request specific content, articles, videos, on any topic that you want. We'll put that out. And again, both tiers get you entrance into our Discord channel.
All right. Okay. Look. Also, you can check out the merch right there. LBHTshow.com/shop. Go take a look, man. It's still a little chilly outside. You want a hoodie? We got hoodies. You want a t-shirt like this? We got some shorts, some workout gear, all kinds of stuff on that shop, man. And we're constantly working to add new products, things that we think you guys might like. So give us feedback. Let us know if there's something that you want to see on there, and maybe we'll get it on there for you. Okay, look, we got to break down our teams. We got to break them down. We're going to start with the Panthers because we've been quiet on the Panthers. And, look, there's still not a whole lot to talk about, but we got to talk about what they need to do. Not will they do, what they need to do this offseason. Now, B.
Yes.
I think many Panthers fans look at next season as a lost season in terms of, actually winning, right?
Yes.
It's more of just clean house, possibly get your QB of the future, but if not, fix the O-line and then maybe get the QB of the future the next season or what have you, right? So step 1, free agency, then draft. What do you want to see?
Okay, well, Carolina's got a not an overly long list of free agents, but they have some significant free agents here. We got Stephon Gilmore, their starting center Matt Paradis, Cam is a free agent, Hassan Reddick's a free agent, D lineman Daquan Jones, starting safety Justin Burris. We've got Dante Jackson, one of their other corners. Frankie Louvu, who was a big surprise this year, a very pleasant surprise. He's hitting free agency as well, and a few other guys who contributed throughout the season, right? Jermaine Carter Jr. as well is one of the starting linebackers there. Now the problem for Carolina is those guys are going to want a lot of money. Some of them, Stephon Gilmore, Dante Jackson, Hassan Reddick. Those guys are going to want a lot of money.
Yeah.
Carolina is sitting right now at $16.5 million. And you might be asking yourself, how do you have $16.5 million in cap room when you had 5 wins? And that is a very good question. And I'm going to answer that question right now for you by telling you that they had 52 million, actually a bit more than 50, about $54 million dedicated to Sam Darnold, Shaq Thompson, and Robbie Anderson going into next season. They have another 14 in Christian McCaffrey. They've got another 13 in Pat Elflein and Cameron Irving. So what you're seeing is you have a trend of paying good players like they're great, playing bad players like they're average or good. Right. Yeah. And that's a thing that, Baltimore Ravens fans are very, very familiar with.
Like Ravens fans, this is why I want you guys to pay attention when my man's talking about Panthers stuff on here, because there's a lot of parallels between the two franchises. Okay.
Yeah. So you have all that with Carolina. They have one draft pick in the first 3 rounds. They're number 6 overall. They don't have a second. They don't have a third. Then they pick up again at 4th and 5th. They don't have a 6th, and I believe they have their 7th. So, and I do want to mention Todd McShay. He put out his mock draft 2.0. He had the Ravens taking Tyler Linderbaum, which I was like, that's a good pick. I like that pick.
Yes.
Then I went and I looked at number 6, and somehow it ended up with Sauce Gardner. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself,
wait, who?
Carolina, he had taken Sauce Gardner, and they had drafted Dante Jackson several years ago in the 2nd round, right? Then they went out and they traded a 6th round pick for Stephon Gilmore, who was the defensive player of the year a few years ago. Then they went out and they traded a 3rd round pick for CJ Henderson, who was a top 10 pick last year. In 2020, not
2020,
last year.
Yeah.
And then last year they went and they drafted J.C. Horn at number 8. So I don't get the logic behind picking up Sauce Gardner. I'm not sure if that's something that he's hearing or if that's just something that he's throwing out there just because.
That's what makes me nervous, because McShay and Kuiper, they go off of what they hear, right? They're not really analyzing it and saying this would be a good fit, or just based off my knowledge of the team, this is what they're likely to go for. No, they go off of what they hear. And man, if they're throwing that name around,
well,
yikes.
The one thing I put in the Discord, I said, I'll kill somebody if this happens. Obviously, I'm not going to kill anybody. Okay. But one thought that I had, and this kind of leads into it here. Bear with me for just a second. The talk around Carolina recently has been that they're going to take a big swing at quarterback. We just got a donation from Anonymous asking if the Panthers are going to draft Malik Willis. Right?
Shout out to you, Anonymous.
Now, thank you so much. I would like Malik Willis. I don't think that they're going to. The talk is that they're going to take a big swing. And to me, when you hear big swing, you're thinking Aaron Rodgers, you're thinking Russell Wilson, you're thinking Deshaun Watson. Excuse me, something like that, right? In order to get a player like that, you're giving up multiple 1st-round picks.
Yes.
This year's included. And so I'm thinking maybe what they're hearing is whoever ends up at number 6 might be, maybe they're just kind of guessing whoever ends up at 6 takes Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
Now, but as of right now, it's a ridiculous pick. You can't go corner. They have too many corners already. But whatever, that's neither here nor there. For Carolina, they don't have an O-line. They've got Taylor Moton, who's a good right tackle. That's about it. They don't have a quarterback. Sam Darnold is coming back. His salary is guaranteed. Cam's a free agent. Who knows if he's coming back or not? They did already re-sign PJ Walker, Matt Rule's boy. Yeah. So, like you mentioned, I think going into this season is really a time for Carolina to just get out of their bad contracts.
Yeah.
Try and trade Christian McCaffrey if you can. Try and trade Shaq Thompson. Try and trade Robbie Anderson if you can. Try and recoup some picks that you've kind of squandered in these trades, and basically just hit the reset button. Don't sign Hassan Reddick. Don't sign Stephon Gilmore. They're a little bit older. Just go ahead and let them walk.
Yeah.
You'll get comp picks for those guys because they're going to get big contracts in free agency. Same thing with Dante Jackson. And start looking towards next year, man. Like, Matt Rule's not going to be your coach. You got to start thinking about what kind of team do you want to be in the future, because the future is not now in Carolina.
Right.
The future is beginning next year and beyond. I think what I would like to see them do is maybe draft Malik Willis and trade off some of those guys, or just flat out release them if you can't get any trades done, and kind of get your cap situation under control and reset for the next regime.
Ravens Online says Panthers need to hire John Harbaugh.
I told you before. I'm going to tell you again. I hate you.
Let's see here. Sweepy Band says a QB would put Carolina over the top. They've got some serious talent. They're somewhat like NFC Broncos. A QB would definitely help, but they need to fix that O-line. They badly need to fix that O-line, but they do have talent.
They have talent, and an elite quarterback would have them in the playoffs and have them contending. I don't think there's any way they get an elite quarterback right now.
Matt Williams doesn't agree with letting Gilmore walk. He says, I don't know about that. But look, you got to look at it like this. They're not in a position to really compete this year, right? And like B said, Gilmore is a little bit older, and you have to ask yourself, when are the Panthers going to really be in a position to compete again, like compete for like a Super Bowl? Because Gilmore's the type of player that you want him on your team when you're ready to go all the way, not just make the playoffs, right? Like they have enough talent. They just drafted J.C. Horn, right? They traded for C.J. Henderson, right? Like they have corners on the team already. So you're paying money for a position that's not going to make a difference next year, right? You're wasting your money. When you're ready to really compete, then you can start looking for those guys. You can always get those guys. If you're aggressive enough, you can get whoever you want on your team.
Yeah, and the money that they have, if you do want to compete in any sense, the money that you have has to be pumped into the offense. It has to go into the O-line because you have to protect your quarterback.
Yeah. Let's see. Big Red says, "Hey, we'll trade Greg Roman to the Panthers for a 7th round pick or $2." Man, look, Ravens fans are trying to help you out, man.
Yeah, I like that they've given options on the trade. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, or best offer.
Yeah.
Brandon Buck wants to know: does elite QB make Carolina NFC South favorites?
Yeah, I mean, if it depends on if Tom Brady changes his mind and comes back, but that's a terrible division right now.
Yes.
So yes.
Good question.
A good quarterback probably makes him the favorite, honestly, at this point.
Raven Ron says Gilmore and J.C. Horn, Legion of Boom, North Carolina version. Ooh, shout out to Tony Hendo, man. He made another donation. He says, "My main man, Brodny."
Yeah,
appreciate you.
Whatever, Hendo.
Thank you, though. Look, the defense is sick right now. It's sick. But
but that's the thing. They were a top pass defense this year, and they won 5 games.
Look, you know how I am, right? Until something happens, I'm gonna or doesn't happen, I'm gonna advocate for this, right? The same way I say get AB in Baltimore. I know they're not gonna do it, but until it's we're past that and he's with another team or we're definitely not signing them, I'm gonna keep advocating for it. Same thing with Carolina. I'm gonna keep advocating that they bring back Cam. If they can't bring in a top QB, do not go into that season with Sam Darnold. At the very least that you can do for fans is give Cam a real chance, because what we saw last season wasn't a real chance. Give Cam a real chance, right, to go out there and try to do something with the season. If he doesn't have it, he doesn't have it. It's fine, but at least fans can get behind Cam Newton. That's their hero. Sam is nobody wants to see that. Nobody's gonna turn on the TV to watch that. No. You know, so yeah, let Cam come back. I mean, I think they owe him that. If they're not going to really try to get their quarterback, bring back Cam.
And I'll tell y'all right now, man, if they bring back Sam Darnold as a starter and they draft Sauce Gardner, there's going to be a lot less Carolina Panthers talk on this channel.
And we got another donation from Brandon Buck. It says, "Happy 1-year anniversary, LBHT crew. Really enjoyed the content." Thank you, Brandon, man. Shout out to you.
Brandon.
Manuel's Call of Duty channel says the NFC South will be a toss-up division unless they become like the NFC East. Yeah, which is still a toss-up if you're being honest. Matt Williams says Panthers had the same O-line issues that we have. That's just sad.
It's worse in Carolina.
It is. It is, because we have Ryan Stanley. He's just hurt.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
you guys got Stanley, you got Zeitler. I mean, at least this year you had Bozeman. In Carolina, they really do have one good lineman. They have a couple of young linemen they're hoping turn into something, but it's ugly. They could have had Rashawn Slater, but hey, corners.
That hurts, man. That hurts. He's staring you right in the face. And you're like, nope. Short arms. All right, hey, look, I guess this is a good way to transition into the other team that we need to talk about, moves that they need to make.
The other team.
The other team. All right.
Yeah.
Ravens.
So it's a little more, I don't want to say dire, because obviously the Ravens are a better team than Carolina. But I just want to go over real quick their free agents. They're sitting at $8.7 million in cap room right now. And hitting free agency, they've got Calais Campbell, who is 36, so he can go. Brandon Williams, who is 33, so he can go. Sammy Watkins can go. I don't care how old he is. Pat Ricard.
I don't care if he's 22. He can go.
Pat Ricard can go, but in a nice way, because Pat is the man.
Yes,
he's a just
baller.
Don't need him right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Jimmy Smith only played 27% of the snaps. He's 34 years old. Obviously, he said multiple times he's retiring if they don't bring him back. Go ahead and let that man retire.
Yes. Respectfully. Great career.
Yes.
Super Bowl champ.
Great Raven.
Yes.
But it's time to go. It's fine, man. Justin Houston, 33 years old. You can let him go. Chris Board, 27, special teams guy, depth at linebacker. You can bring him back.
Yeah.
LJ Fort, 32 years old, coming off a torn ACL. He can go. Latavius Murray can go. Josh Johnson can go. Anthony Levine already retired, I believe.
Yes. He's on the coaching staff now.
Yeah.
Or scouting staff, I should say. Scouting, yeah. Josh
Bynes, who's 33 and came in and saved your linebacking core. I mean, I guess he can come back.
He can go.
Since y'all don't have any other answers at linebacker. So
well, let me say this. If you're not going to do anything, right, bring back Bynes and LJ Ford. At least I know they're going to tackle. Right?
Devontae Freeman can go, obviously. Justin Ellis, 32, has never been able to even to crack that starting lineup. He can go.
But Justin, we might need him for depth.
But he's not good depth, so just let him go.
Yeah.
Tony Jefferson, they brought him in late. I don't know what they're really feeling about him. He's 30 years old. He played well enough.
He did all right. Yeah, he did all right.
So that one's kind of a toss-up, I think. Pernell McPhee, 34 years old, he can go. Eric Tomlinson, if he's cheap enough, he can stay, right? Like whatever.
Yeah, he's one. Yeah.
Left tackle David Sharp, 27 years old. Now, obviously didn't play a whole lot. I think he's kind of he's a bottom of the roster type of player. Again, if he's willing to come back for very cheap, go ahead and bring him back. Anthony Averett, I think there's not much chance they bring him back. He played a lot. He's a pretty solid corner. I know it didn't really look like it a lot of times this year, but I think he's going to get paid more than what Baltimore really wants to. And then you get into a lot of exclusive rights free agents: Christian Welch, Khalil Dorsey, Tyler Huntley, Cologne Castillo, Geno Stone. They're all going to be back. Chris Westry's a restricted free agent. He should be back. Tyson Williams, exclusive rights. Aaron Crawford, interior D lineman, he should be back. Nick Moore, the long snapper, should be back as well. And then you have a couple of big-time free agents, relatively big-time, Deshaun Elliott and Bradley Bozeman. I would like to see Deshaun Elliott back, and I don't think that they should pay Bradley Bozeman at all.
I agree. I'm gonna read some of these comments because there's a few comments here.
Last guy, Ataro Alaka, a
Alaka.
linebacker. He's a restricted free agent again, so he can be back if they want him.
Yeah. Let's see. Tony Hendo says EDC said we have good O-line prospects on campus. Yeah, look, they're always vague about this stuff, right? They're obviously looking at some players. Like they understand that they need to upgrade, so you gotta take that with a huge grain of salt. Manuel's Call of Duty says we trade Giro to the Jags for NFTs. That was funny. Let's see. Raven Ron wants to bring back LJ Ford. Okay, but again, we shouldn't be sitting here saying bring back LJ Ford and Josh Bynes to save our linebacking core. coach up our linebackers. We drafted Patrick Queen in the first round. We drafted Malik Harrison in the third round. And if you think we need more, all right, go. We have 5 fourth-round picks. Get one then and coach up your players, right?
And I'm not, just generally speaking, I'm not a fan of bringing back guys who were not great players to begin with when they're older and they have a significant injury. Right. He's been a journeyman type player, and he's 32, and he got hit with a torn ACL. I don't know that you're going to get the LJ Fort back that you're remembering.
Right. So, I mean, you're going to have to – I believe in Patrick Queen. I know people aren't high on him, but I think he played much better towards the second half of the season. I'm fine with Patrick Queen. Malik Harrison, man, you're going to have to figure it out. Like, get more out of him or just, draft another linebacker later, right? Third or fourth round, get a linebacker there or get somebody else in free agency. But, man, like we can't keep just holding on to these guys because – we feel comfortable with them. That's how we get the team that we get now. That's just average. Right? Mm-hmm. Let's see. Ravens Online says leave Calais Campbell where he is. Free agent. All right. Like we can't bring him back. I mean, again, he played well, right? I thought he was probably our most consistent player on defense last year. But how much do you want to pay for that? You know what I mean? Like, if he comes back on a cheap deal, I guess. But I want to see us instead of spending $7-8 million because hey, that's a good bargain deal. Put that money on the offense. If we take care of everything that we need to take care of on offense, then I'm okay with doing whatever on defense. But offense is what needs to eat first. So let's start there. Bradley Bozeman, I do not want to pay Bradley Bozeman, and this is no disrespect to Bradley Bozeman, but there are better players out there at that position. Ryan Jensen is a free agent, and if Tom Brady is not coming back, I think he'll be open to other offers, right? Yeah. I thought Tom Brady was going back, and I thought it'd be a done deal. Everybody's going back, but Tom Brady not going back. Ryan Jensen is going to be open to offers, and if you're willing to spend money on Bradley Bozeman because he's not going to come back for cheap. Spend that money on Ryan Jensen. That's a better center. Or if we're looking at Tyler Linderbaum in the draft, right? I think that's going to be a better center than Bozeman. So let Bozeman walk. Who else do we have? We don't have a lot going on the offensive side. Obviously, well, Villanueva isn't a free agent, but
right. So that's what I was going to say. looking at the cap hits here, at the top. For Baltimore, obviously it's better than what we saw in Carolina, right? Lamar Jackson at 23, Ronnie Stanley at 18.5, Marlon Humphrey at 17.5, Marcus Peters at 15.5, right? So at the very least, those are all good players.
Yes,
very good players.
Yeah.
Maybe you'd like to see some of those numbers be a little smaller, but whatever. Mark Andrews at 9.6, and then Villanueva at 9.2, Tavon Young at almost 9.2 as well. Both those guys can kind of go, right?
Tavon Young is you're not wrong, but it's hard because he played well this year, man. He was healthy this year, and I don't like getting rid of good players, but I hear you.
He's the third corner.
Yes.
So now you're talking about paying over $40 million just in those top 3 corners.
Yes. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. And again, this is where coaching comes into play, right? Mm-hmm. If we're supposed to have a good coaching staff, and we believe in them, they got to be able to do more with less. And you're not doing with that much less. Like you have your top 2 corners, and they're damn good corners, right? Yeah. So if our third corner is a little bit weaker than Tavon Young, it is what it is, and they shouldn't be, right? You should be able to bring in somebody and fit that role. So yes, Tavon Young, although I like him and I would love to keep him because I think he played really solid. He had some unfortunate injuries over the years, but that happens in football sometimes, man. But he looked healthy and he played well. I'd love to keep him, but at that price, go ahead. This is a sacrifice you have to make sure Lamar has what he needs on that side of the ball. So yeah go ahead and cut him. Villanueva, why are you still here?
Nick Boyle's coming in with a cap hit of $7 million.
Yeah, he can go.
Which is ridiculous for your backup tight end who is just a blocker, but he can't go because you save no money cutting him, literally zero. So he'll be back. Good news though, you can save $2.5 million cutting Miles Boykin.
Yeah, he can go.
So there you go.
Yeah.
It's like you can save $1 million cutting Josh Oliver.
So that's another one though. Will they cut Miles Boykin, or are they?
I think they will.
I feel like they're a little hesitant to let him go. I think they want to wait until after training camp or during training camp just to see, because what they don't want to see happen is he makes that leap this year, and it's like, man, we cut him too soon, like they did with Waller, right? I feel like,
but he doesn't have the kind of issues that Darren Waller had, at least not that we know of. So I don't think there's going to be any danger of a leap.
I don't think so either. But I'm just telling you, I think that's what they're thinking.
Right.
Because otherwise, why didn't you cut him already?
Well, I mean, there was a spot for him this year, but if you go out and you bring in another wide receiver, if you through the draft or whatever, there won't be spots. I would honestly, I'm expecting him and Prochet to get cut this year.
Man,
right now you've got Hollywood, you've got Rashod Bateman, you've got Devin Duvernay, you've got Tylan Wallace, right? So if you bring in a veteran receiver, which is something that they do pretty much every year, and if you bring in somebody through the draft, that gets you to 6.
Yeah. Shout out to Michi Bad. He says PQ needs to get his weight up and he'll be fine. Maybe. I mean, yeah. He needs to build his strength a little bit. Actually, tackling the second half of the season, he was fine at tackling, and I love his instinct. I think he was just he wasn't. I don't know. He's a little hesitant at first, but like they switched the position. He focused on the run, and I mean, he was in the backfield often. Coverage is where he needs to kind of pick it up a little bit, being able to diagnose those plays a little bit. But I think it's all going to come together for him. Man. I'm not worried about Patrick Queen. I'm really not. Yeah. Ray Ron says, "Bring back Earl." Look, he's available.
Yeah. So for the Ravens, with what we looked at there, obviously they're going to be thin on the D line, right? Mm-hmm. They're going to be a little bit thin in the secondary at corner, but the focus has to be on fixing the O-line. They have to get a right tackle, they have to get a center, and they have to solidify left guard. Now, if you say, hey, we think Ben Cleveland's the guy, or we think Ben Powers is going to be the guy this year, fine. But you need a center that can play, and you need a right tackle who can play. Yeah. They have Jawan James right now. You don't know what Jawan James is at this point.
Right. No, I agree. And I've seen what people are saying out there. Man, I'll tell you, man. Like, Raven, look, I call them the gatekeepers. Those Raven gatekeepers on Twitter, man. Like, on one hand, they'll say, yeah, we got to make sure we have an O-line for Lamar. That's the most important thing. And then they put out their mock draft, and it's all defense. And then you got people talking about, we can get him a tackle, or we can get him a guard in the 3rd round. Mm-hmm. That's not protecting him. Or right. Some people will even say we're good at right tackle because we have James and we got McCarry there. It'll work itself out. That's exactly how we got into the situation that we were in this year.
Yeah. And listen, if that's your opinion that you're good at right tackle because you have Jawan James, then you're good at edge rusher because you have Oweh and Tyus Bowser and Dalen Hayes. So I don't want to hear it.
Exactly.
If that's your opinion, then you're good at safety because you got Chuck Clark and Brandon Stevens, who you just drafted in the 3rd round. And you got Geno Stone and Ardarius Washington backing them up. Don't want to hear it.
Exactly. Absolutely. And don't talk about Sauce Gardner. We have 2 all-pro caliber corners. Yes, I know Marlon Humphrey had a down year. John Hazeb Ali's in the chat saying we overpaid Marlo. No, we didn't, man. He had a down year. It was just a bad year all around. And I think I put a lot of that on Wink Martindale. Mm-hmm. Everybody played bad. Everybody. Yeah. Like you said before, like the messages kind of just got stale and they weren't really playing up to the potential. I think Marlo is just fine. I'm not worried about Marcus Peters' injury. I think he's going to come back 100%. He's going to be just fine. We have 2 really good corners. I'm not worried about it, man, at all.
The only thing that I'm worried about is, was it Wink's message that got stale or John's?
Yeah.
Because John is back.
And shout out to Justin P, man. Make sure you subscribe to him. KTSE Sports Talk with Justin P. He said, I wouldn't be opposed to taking a tackle in the 1st round. Wouldn't be opposed, man. We need. Do you want to keep Lamar upright or not? That's all I want to know. right? Like why are we? I mean, and not Justin Pete. Like he wants to get a tackle, but I'm just saying like the people that are just like let's go edge rusher, in the first round, get a right tackle later. Like why do you keep wanting to downgrade one of the most important positions for us right now? Yeah. Right? Like there's nothing more important than making sure the O-line is straight. If we get a tackle, that's good, but then it turns out Juwan James is really good, or Pat McCarry is really good. So what? Then now we have extra tackles that can play, and we can rotate them in, or maybe one can play a different position on the line. I don't care. That's a good problem to have. I'd rather have that than to be like, turns out Juwan James is he's pretty much done. Pat McCarry is just a guy, and we're in trouble. We still can't block because you can't find anybody. It's much harder to trade for a good tackle during the season than it is an edge rusher. I mean, we got Ngakoue during the season last year, right? Mm-hmm. You can get somebody that's solid right there, but if you mess up on the O-line, you're stuck.
Yeah. And, I know a big thing for people is, hey, you saw what happened in the Super Bowl. The Rams had 7 sacks. Aaron Donald got the hurry and hit that ended the game. And that's kind of, you see people saying, hey, defense wins championships, right? A couple of years ago, it was the same thing or last year, it was the same thing with the Chiefs, right? Hey, that D-line really got after Mahomes. They couldn't get anything going. They held them to 9 points. Defense wins championships. Now, that's fine if your plan is to play Cincinnati 17 times next year,
right? Because
they have one of the worst lines in the league, but that's just not the norm.
Right.
You're not going to be able to get after the quarterback like that every week. The Rams wouldn't have been able to get after him if they, had a decent O-line. That's the what you saw was a horrible O-line going up against elite pass rush.
Yeah.
That's not the goal. What Ravens fans are talking about, they're not talking about getting an elite pass rush. They're talking about being the horrible O-line. Right. Why don't you look at the other side of it with the Rams, right? The Rams could not run the ball. What Baltimore loves to do. It got completely shut down in that Super Bowl. But guess what? They had Cooper Kupp. And Cooper Kupp dominated the second half of that game and won them that Super Bowl. That's why he was Super Bowl MVP. Odell Beckham dominated the beginning of that game. That's why they had the lead to begin with. Why don't you look at that instead of saying, hey, man, if we get an Aaron Donald, then we can get after the quarterback. You're not going to get Aaron Donald. And you're not going to play an O-line like the Bengals every week. Yeah. That's not how it's going to go. You can't rely on run game and get after the quarterback to get you anywhere. That's what the Ravens have done for the past 4 years, and it hasn't worked.
Yeah. And I want to address this right here. Shout out to King 95. That's a Pugo. That's you, King of Pugo. I know you. Changing your name up on us. You ain't going to fool us. But he brings up the question. And look, a lot of people, are thinking about this. He says, y'all taking Kyle Hamilton if he drops? Now, I'll say this. If he dropped to us at 14, why would you want him? I'm saying because people look at Kyle Hamilton as, like that dude at safety. Like he could be like a special player at safety. If he's a special player, he ain't dropping to 14.
Well, no, I mean, he could, right? Derwin James dropped to 17 or 18 or whatever it was.
And he still has a potential, but he's not that guy.
Well, no, but he is that guy. He just gets hurt a lot.
Yeah.
That's the problem there. But, there are a lot of bad GMs and team needs play into that as well.
But
so, I mean, he could fall. You're talking about, you could see 3 or 4 edge rushers, 3 or 4 tackles, and a few quarterbacks go, and he could just fall, right?
Yeah.
But the answer to whether or not you want Kyle Hamilton is, what did you do in free agency?
Well, yeah. Well, for me, I don't think we could do enough in free agency to say yes, for me to say yes. And shout out to Tony Hendo for making another donation. He says, at least we have a franchise QB. Yes.
Thank you, Tony.
Yes. But no, look, that is the first question. Like, what do we do in free agency? Because for me, what it would take for me to be okay with just going defense is we went and got a tackle. We went and got a center. At the very least, if we got a right tackle that we know can play, we got a center like Ryan Jensen. I'm I'm okay because I know Ronnie Stanley's coming back. I don't have any doubt about Ronnie Stanley coming back and playing to his all pro form. I would feel comfortable then, right?
Yeah.
But also, I still want us to get a wide receiver. So if we don't go wide receiver in free agency, I would still want us to draft the best wide receiver available. But now if we say, okay, we are going to bring in AB. Okay, cool. You took care of the O-line. You brought in AB. You want to go defense, man? Go defense. Have fun with it.
If Baltimore goes and gets Trent Brown and they sign Ryan Jensen to take care of the O-line, and then let's say they go and get, just throwing out a name. Let's say they go and get Amari Cooper or,
or
if
Calvin
somebody,
Ridley.
I know he's going to be, if you trade for Calvin Ridley or somebody gets cut and they, because I know that, Amari's going to cost a lot. Chris Godwin's going to cost a lot. They probably can't get that done. But if you go out and get a good, solid starting wide receiver in free agency and you get Trent Brown and you get Ryan Jensen, just as an example, go ahead and take whoever you want. Yeah. I would say even at that point, go ahead and trade up and try and get Kayvon Thibodeau, or Kyle Hamilton, whoever it is you like. But if you take care of those needs, you take care of the O-line, fully take care of the O-line, and you upgrade the wide receivers, then take whoever.
Well, but like you touched on it. It ain't take whoever. Trade up and get the best player possible.
Well, but I'm just saying, target whoever it is you want.
What I want us to do is be aggressive, right? Mm-hmm. Offense or defense. I mean, one, take care of offense. You already know how our saying around here. Hashtag defund the defense, right?
Yes.
Offense eats first. So, but if they do all those things, assuming they did all that in free agency, actually that'd be the preferred thing to do. Get guys that you know without a doubt can block and can catch, right? Yeah. If they did that, then I would say, all right, we got first round, second round, 2 third rounds, 5 fourth rounds, nine picks in the first 4 rounds. That's what EDC was toting. Man, we need a package and move up. And yes, get Kayvon Thibodeau. Get somebody that could be a real game changer on that defense. Be aggressive, man. Be aggressive. So, yeah. In that case, or, look, Kyle Hamilton, fine. I'm fine with that. And shout out to Anonymous. Man, you guys have been blessing us with these donations, man. Thank you guys so much. Anonymous says, how many picks on the O-line will the Ravens have?
I'm gonna guess 3. My hope is that they really hit the O-line in free agency, but I'm not sure they're going to.
I think they are going to address it in free agency. I'm going to say 1. I think, man, they understand that they have to protect Lamar. I don't know.
I don't think they do. I think if they understood it, Alejandro Villanueva would not be on this roster.
I think he's going to be cut.
No. I mean, last year he would not have been on this roster.
Yeah. I think they understand now. I think I don't want them to re-sign Bradley Bozeman, but I can see them doing it. They'll either get Bradley Bozeman or they get a center. They'll draft a tackle, probably not first round, right? But I don't think they're gonna spend too many picks. Maybe two, right? Because while I'm saying they need to trade up, we don't really trade up. We like to trade back and get 15 picks. So maybe 2.
I think they go O-line in the first round, and then I think they pick up another couple in the on day 3.
Yeah.
And I just don't think that they go really hard in free agency at O-line. I think they're going to spend their money on defense. I think they're going to go and get some D linemen. I think they'll probably get a veteran corner to fill in a bit. Okay. And then they go into the draft. First round, it'll be like Linderbaum or one of the tackles if they're there. And then, skip ahead to day 3, take one maybe in the 4th round and then one a little later.
Okay. All right, let's read a few of these comments because we got to finish up here. Yeah. Let's see. John Hazeb Ali says we need a tackle in the first round. John Hazeb, I've been seeing your comments in here, man. You keep on saying sign Trent Williams. Trent Williams is locked up with the 49ers, right? Like
maybe he means Trent Brown.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Trent Brown. Raven Ron says, should the Ravens package a few draft picks? Snack Daddy, hold on here. Hold on. You keep your hands off of Jay Ferg there, man. and Dundalk Brown for Khalil Mack. Well, yes.
Well,
I didn't read the rest of the sentence. My bad. Well, yes.
if they could do it, but why would Chicago take?
But he said Khalil Mack and Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson is a free agent. Listen. Yes. Yes.
Hey, should I trade my quarter for Jose's $100
bill? Let's see. Manuel's Call of Duty channel says John's message wasn't the issue. It was he didn't hold accountable G-Roll and Wink for those stupid calls. Well, that's part of his messaging too, right?
Yeah,
his message is I have my friends back no matter what.
Yeah, because your message is it's the player's fault. that can get real old.
Yeah. And Mikey from Off the Record Podcast says ESPN has Trent Brown to us as top fit signing this offseason. Yeah. I think that's an obvious pick. I mean, not that they're obviously gonna do it, but I think that's an obvious move.
Yeah.
For them. Let's see. Matt Williams says, he's talking to Raven Ron. I wish they could take that, but they would decline with the quickness. Yeah. Keenan Ricketts says Humphrey is nice, but way too much money invested. Look at what happened to Ramsey in the Super Bowl. Even the best corners can't guard in today's football. We need expensive quality weapons. Yeah, okay. Yeah. It happened to him in the Super Bowl, but he still played well overall. And they're paying Jalen Ramsey more money than we're paying Humphrey, and they still brought in talent. So we don't need Humphrey to take a pay cut. We need to manage our money better and bring in talent.
The issue is the Rams are top heavy. They go out and they get elite talent and they pay them. Mm-hmm. And the Ravens like to pay over the hill veterans more than they're worth.
Yeah. But Marlon's not the problem at all. I wouldn't touch his contract at all. Figure out something else. Right? Figure out something else. Let's see. Harves is a motivator of men, not a leader. Leaders hold accountable their men in their mistakes, and also theirs get them results.
Actually, they were paying Jalen Ramsey much less this season. His cap hit this year was 9.7, and it jumps quite a bit. For the rest of his contract, it's 23.2, 25.2, 26.7, 22.7. But yeah, for this season alone, he was. But that brings us to the other point, right? The Ravens are awful at manipulating the cap. They're terrible at it.
Yeah. So I mean, it's on us, and maybe Sashi Brown can fix that, right? But you gotta know how to move money around. You have to be able, like, the reason why I'm glad Lamar is playing hardball and people are nervous about it is because we need to feel that sense of urgency, right? We need to feel that we need to win now type of feeling, right? Like we're too caught up on just being comfortable, being okay. Like, hey, Lamar's locked up. Hey, we got this guy. Hey, we're still a young team. Hey, he's gonna get better next year. Hey, Prochet, he's gonna get us 600 yards this year. Hey, Hollywood, he's gonna get 1,200 yards this year. And then that doesn't happen. Oh, well, hey, next year he's only 25, right? Like it's just that you're comfortable because it's always gonna be that next year. We need that sense of it needs to happen this year because we don't know what's gonna happen next year. That's what we need. That's what we need here. All right. Let's see. Draft offensive line. That's what Kingbird says. I agree. The
other part of it too is I think. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, Davon says I'd rather go O-line and free agency. I agree. This organization has lost all trust in drafting protection for Lamar. I can't argue that.
But what I was about to say is the other part of that is the Bengals have a ton of cap room, right? Ton of cap room, and they're going to be shopping for O-line. Everybody else, pretty much everybody in the league who has money has more money than Baltimore. Yeah. And O-line is always a premium. So are they going to be able to afford to get O-linemen? Like you have to outbid people at that point.
Yes.
And I'm not sure that they'll be able to do it.
Yes, that's a good point. Devon Allen says Trevor Penning at 14. I wouldn't be mad at that. And then Perry and Winfrey in the second. And get Ryan Jensen.
So again, the Ravens are sitting at 8.7. Mm-hmm. Right now, the Bengals are at 57. So if they want Trent Brown, Guess who's going to pay more money than Baltimore?
So look, I mean, it's like we talked about. You have to make some cuts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Villanueva, I'm not sure how much that saves us, but cut him. I don't care if it costs us. Cut him.
Him and Tavon open up about $12 million.
And there was somebody else that we mentioned that could go too.
Like 2.5 for Miles Boykin.
Miles Boykin.
They're going to have to get into restructuring contracts to open up a lot of money.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. Do what you got to do. Extend Lamar, right?
That should open up more than 10.
Yeah, do what you have to do, man. These teams, we've been saying it. These teams aren't going away. The Bengals are only going to get better.
Yeah.
Look, Pittsburgh is only going to get better. They're not going to. I mean, Pittsburgh is not about being whack. They're not about that at all. Not, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes they have some bad seasons, but like that's not their whole thing. Their thing isn't, we'll take the L this year and we rebuild. No, they're always trying to win. They are going to get a quarterback, and that's all they really need. Right? And the Browns, they're going to suck. But the Bills aren't going anywhere. The Chiefs aren't going anywhere. Like,
and the Chargers are coming.
All these teams are going to get better, is what I'm saying. All these teams, whether they have a lot of money to spend in free agency or a little bit, they still have draft picks, right? They all know how to manipulate their cap better than we do. They are going to bring in extra talent. We have to be able to match their aggressiveness. So, all right. Bonus time. Keep putting in your comments. We'll be here for just a couple more minutes because we've been doing these 2-hour shows. But hey, look, this is the 1-year anniversary. It's fine. Put your comments in there, and we'll read a couple for a few minutes, and then we are going to hit up the overtime show. If you want to hang out with us some more, hit up patreon.com/LBHT Show for as little as $3. All right, you can come hang out with us. All right, Q Jackson 124 says cheaper than the Ravens. What's cheaper than the Ravens? I missed what you said here. Kingbird says keep Marcus Peters. Yeah, keep Marcus Peters. I don't think his cap hit is even that much.
It's over 15, and they would save, I believe, 10 by cutting him. But then that's a hole that you have to fill. When you're looking at cuts, you got to look at cuts that will not open up a gaping hole for you.
What's up, Jay? Jay says, "What's up? I'm here now." You're right on time, Jay. Keenan Ricketts says, like Brodny says, not every team is trying to win now. The Bengals are, and they don't have the O-line yet. EDC and Harbs are procrastinating. Yeah, man. Let's see. Ross says, I swear Ravens want to be Green Bay East. They are killing me. They are, though, right? Because they always talk about how, Green Bay has most of their homegrown talent or whatever. So what?
Yeah, for a long time under their previous GMs, they wouldn't sign free agents. They just wouldn't do it.
Look, shout out to Garnett, with the highlighted comment there. He said it earlier, man. Like F those picks, right? That's the Rams mantra. We need to do the same thing, man. If we set those picks on fire to just bring in talent, I'm for it. Yeah. I'm for it, man. I don't give a damn about these picks, man. We're trying to win right now, and all we have to do is make a little investment, because the one thing that we have that the other teams don't have is Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
The only other team that can say, well, we got this guy is the Chiefs, right? Yeah. I don't think Josh Allen's a better quarterback, although, he's performing better, but, he's got more talent around him. I don't think he's a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson. I don't think Joe Burrow is a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson, right? Like, I know Stafford ain't a better quarterback. But yeah, I think we had one of the best quarterbacks in the league. The only other team that I would say, okay, man, you got that is the Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
If we just make a small investment, just a little bit, we'll be right there with those teams, man. We have to do it. Justin Humphrey says, blacks, we are. Oh, okay, all right, my bad. I didn't even put that up there. He's a Hebrew Israelite, apparently. All right, man. Do you, man? Put a Ravens comment in there. Big Red says the AFC is stacked right now. All right.
It is. I said, the Chargers are coming. The Raiders are still there. The Broncos, if they get a quarterback, will be contenders. It's going to be real tough.
Yeah. John Hazeb says, I missed 2019 season. Yeah, we all do. Right? But that's why you got to hold his team accountable because, you know, you had a hot season, the league adjusted, and we didn't.
I mean, imagine if Tennessee gets a quarterback.
NFL AZ Cardinal says Josh Allen not better than Lamar. Thinking face. Respectfully disagree. That's cool, man.
Okay. Look, yeah, look, I think that it's one of those situations. I don't think Josh Allen's more talented than Lamar, but he's been playing better than him.
Yep.
You know, he's in a better situation with better coaching, so that's fine.
Yeah, but okay, I mean, yes, he's performing better, but do you not recognize that he has more talent around him?
Mm-hmm.
Like
that, only one of those guys has an MVP.
Right. Like you're not going to throw that away. You're not going to throw that away. I mean, you got to look at the overall body of work. Like, yes, Josh Allen's playing great, so we're not throwing shade at Josh Allen, but I'm taking Lamar. Let's see. Raven Ron says Ravens need to get Khalil Mack and Von Miller if you're serious about making Super Bowl. Protect Lamar first if you're serious about winning the Super Bowl.
What are all of you talking about? Every single one of you was up in here from the beginning of May all the way through the end of September telling me that Oweh was a superstar. What are you talking about? Go get Khalil Mack and Von Miller.
I was going to ask that. Like, what's the deal with Oweh? Are we I mean, I know we said at the beginning of the year that you guys are going to cool off on Oweh, and we're going to have to be up here, defending Oweh at the end of the season. But I mean, I hear a lot of talk about edge rushers. I never hear that, man. Oweh, we're good here. We got Oweh. We
drafted Dalen Hayes. Tyus Bowser was turning it on a bit this year.
Yeah,
they're fine. Go get another edge rusher in the middle rounds.
All I'm saying is, the way we talk about needing to get an edge rusher doesn't seem like a fan base is that confident in Oweh. That's all I'm saying. If Oweh was the next Julius Peppers, like you guys were saying, right?
It doesn't seem like you got
you know what I'm saying?
Like
I don't think we'd be saying we need to get an edge rusher. I think we'd be saying, hey man, we're good there. We're good. Don C, what's up, Don C? He says, what's up, Brodny and Jose? What's up with you, Don C? Appreciate you coming through. And look, man, 63 people in here. Hit that like button, and if you're new, like our Black Hebrew friend, hit that subscribe button. Just don't leave any more comments there, okay? Raven Ross says, Oweh good. Why not have a dominant pass rush adding Von Miller and Mac too? Why not have a wall of an O-line? Why not have unstoppable wide receivers?
Like you talk about it, but because you're looking at the Rams, you're looking at the Bucks and everything. They took care of the offense first. They had the O-lines. They had great receivers. And then they went and got the edge rushers.
Yeah. I agree, Justin P. He says, I love Odafe Oweh. I think he'll be good. I think he's going to be good too. Right. I think he was just somebody that I thought was going to take. I wasn't expecting Micah Parsons type of year from him. Right. I think he'll be fine for us. It's fine. But that goes to our point of we don't need to invest any more at edge rusher. Right. Tyus Bowser is fine. I like the way he played this year. And always going to be fine. We don't need to worry about that position anymore. Dalen Hayes didn't even get to play yet. But I mean, we spent a third round pick on him or a fourth round pick.
I want to say he was fifth.
Okay. But just let the young guys play. I don't want to make any more investment there. We're good at edge rusher.
And again, y'all don't give Jalen Ferguson the same type of love y'all give James Prochet. And Jalen Ferguson, you're not going to like this, but just like Miles Boykin, Jalen Ferguson has outproduced James Prochet.
Yes. Yeah. Look, I said earlier, we need to upgrade, look, if you can upgrade, right? Mm-hmm. But hashtag defund the defense. Upgrade the offense first. So you're talking about getting Von Miller or Khalil Mack. That costs money or it costs draft picks. And if we can get Calvin Ridley instead, get Calvin Ridley. Yeah. If we can get Devontae Adams, get Devontae Adams. If we can get Trent Brown or Ryan Jensen, get one of those guys before we even think about doing anything on defense. Because if we don't fix the O-line, I don't care if we got Khalil Mack and Von Miller and Aaron Donald. We ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
We ain't going nowhere.
Get the guys who are going to help you score points first.
Yep. Let's see. It's always so funny when a team in our division loses. He's talking about the Bengals. Well, man, look, they lost in the Super Bowl, so I'm not saying anything.
Yeah.
Mr. J the Sixth, what's going on? Said, who in the hottest of hell said Owe was the next Julius Peppers? I'm not gonna say his name because he donated $40 to us. No.
That's what he said.
I wasn't gonna say his name
multiple times. He said his ceiling was Julius Peppers and his floor was Jadeveon Clowney. And listen, we argued about it, and I'm still hot. All right, you don't say that stuff. Julius Peppers had 12 sacks in his rookie year.
Listen, man. That started another debate because I was telling people in the chat, like, don't disrespect Julius Peppers. I was like, not even Terrell Suggs is Julius Peppers. And a lot of people were like, whoa. And I was like, no, it's true. And Terrell Suggs is one of the all-time greats. He ain't Julius Peppers. Okay. No. But that's a high ceiling. Even if you're just saying, hey, he could be this. Like, you can't. I don't like mentioning anybody amongst the greats. Jamar Chase had one of the best seasons for a rookie ever, and I would never compare him to Randy Moss.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, that's how great Randy Moss is. Jamar Chase could be that, right? He definitely had the rookie season to show that he has the potential. I need to see him do that a few more times before we start talking about Randy Moss, okay? Like, I just do it a few more times, and then we can start making that comparison. 1 year ain't enough. Right, no. That's all I'm saying. See, look, you hurt Garnett West's feelings. He said, I accidentally did that. It was an accident, I know. He said, and people didn't understand the context and blew it out of proportion.
You said it multiple times, Garnett.
I'm with you, Garnett. I stand with you, man. Stop the slander. Stop the slander.
No. Stop the slander of Julius Peppers.
Suggs better than Peppers. Pepper was never the best defensive player in the league.
Clownish.
You better go back and check that, Devon. You better go back and check that. Man. You better go check those numbers.
Y'all not gonna be disrespecting Julius Peppers like that.
I love Suggs. Obviously, he is not Julius Peppers, y'all. He's not.
Disgust me.
Big Red said Peppers had every pass rush move known to man and then some. Facts. Listen. When I say watch other teams play. This is what I'm talking about. And ain't no shade to you guys. I know you guys say you watch other games, whatever. Watch other teams play. Because some of these players that we're talking about, you're sitting there saying, no. Go put on that tape. Yo. Like, all the best players don't reside in Baltimore, unfortunately. I wish. But, man, Devon says, where's the hardware? Like, he don't control. Well, first of all, he has a ring, doesn't he? Didn't he have a ring with the?
No, he missed it.
Yeah, I mean, but edge rushers don't control that. That's that's more on a quarterback, right? I mean, we can say that about a lot of great players.
Yeah.
Manuel says, guys, Lamar Jackson just posted more training sessions on IG a few minutes ago. Yeah, look, like I said, I have no worries about Lamar. And his ability to get ready for the season, none. Like he's going to be ready. Is the front office going to get ready? Are they going to do what they need to do this offseason? Let's see. Derek says, "Yo, I'm going in on this next week. I need a special guest appearance." See, look, you have awakened Panthers Nation. Look, we still haven't brought on Panthers Nation podcast. Speaking of which, like, you don't make us bring on Rashod and Dave to break it down to you guys. Okay, they're gonna tell you guys a lot of hard truths. These are football guys. Okay, watch. I'm just giving you guys warning. If you guys are trying to push back on that, you guys, look. Watch some tape. That's all I'm gonna say. Watch some tape before you start say. Look, I understand you're Ravens fans. You want to protect your Ravens. I get that. But when you're speaking about other great players, man, you better go put it on. Yeah, Brandon Buck says Peppers also played basketball. Yeah, he did that in college, and he was dominant. Yes, he was an athlete. Yeah. Mr. J6 says, not saying that Owe won't be great, but Peppers is a ceiling higher than a Giraffe. Still mad at the Panthers that one, we let him go to the Packers. Yeah, still dominated there. And two, we didn't get him a ring. Yeah.
I mean, he was a great player for 3 different teams. And then came back to Carolina at like 37 and had 11 sacks.
Devon says he's not talking about rings. He's talking about player of the year.
Okay.
Look, okay, if we want to have a conversation, right? Suggs got Defensive Player of the Year because J.J. Watt got hurt. I said it. If we're keeping it all the way real, he got it because J.J. Watt got hurt that year, right? Otherwise, he wouldn't have one either. But look, that's a big piece of your resume, having those on your resume. And Suggs does have that. Suggs is a Hall of Famer. No question about it. Nobody's arguing that. Peppers is a better player.
Yep.
Okay. He's a better player.
Also had 20 more sacks than Suggs, too.
Yeah. All right. Couple more, and we are out of here because we come up on 2 hours. 54 people in here. Stay tuned because we said we have something for you at the end. I'm not even sure Danny's still in here. Danny, you probably turned this off like, man, I don't understand anything you guys are saying. Yes, stay tuned to the end. Felipe Marino says AB coming to the Ravens. Man, yes, speaking into existence. Let's see. NFL AZ Cardinal says, do you guys think the word Hall of Fame gets thrown too loosely, and how do they do Hester like that? Oh yeah. Yes, there's some players that aren't really Hall of Famers that they're going to get in. I mean, there are
players in who should not be in.
Who should not be in. But Devin Hester should absolutely be in. Yeah. I don't like that he wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer. Yes, he's a special teamer, but special teamers need to be able to get in.
It's again, the league keeps saying it's a third of the game, and if it's a third of the game, you need to respect the players like it's a third of the game. It's not equal to the offense and the defense in the NFL's eyes. Devin Hester is the greatest returner of all time, no question. He should be in.
Yeah. So, all right. Oh, Danny says he's still here. Okay. All right. We are going to end it here. Garnett, man, if you're gonna be around, man, come through to the Overtime Show, man. Hang out with us. We ain't seen you in a minute. I know you are reigning supreme over the spaces on Twitter. Okay, Garnett is king of the spaces. Take a minute to hang out with your old buddies. All right, all right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on our 1 year anniversary, man. Yes. We love you guys. Shout out to you guys for hanging out with us. Shout out to the whole LBHT crew. If you are new, hit that subscribe button. Be a part of the LBHT crew. All right. And if you want to support the show further, Cash App, the Streamlabs, right? Those are ways you can do it. But also patreon.com/LBHT Show. If you have as little as $3 a month, $3, right? If you're thinking about going to Chick-fil-A and getting one of their yummy milkshakes like I had today, okay? Maybe one day you just say, not today. This is for the LBHT crew. I'm gonna put that to the side for the LBHT crew. All right, go ahead and do that. All right, if you want one of these
milkshake will get you nearly 2 months.
Yes. All right, you want one of these shiny coins? All right, that's how you do it. Right down there. Okay. So yeah, support, man. Stay where you're at. Okay, we promise you something at the end. We have a little different ending than what you're used to seeing. So we hope you like it. B, are you ready?
Ready.
All right, y'all. We will see y'all next time. Patrons, hang out in a few minutes. I'll get Overtime Show started. Everybody else, we'll see you later. Peace out.